Now you got it. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tony Fapiano. We're coming to you from the facility known as Roses for Autism on Route 1 in Guilford. And we're here today to talk about just another one of the many, many Guilford Rotary Club projects. And this one happens to be the annual Rose Sale, which my buddy to the right here, Reef Tejan, has been the chairman of for 122 years.
Yeah, right.
About.
Yeah,
It must feel like it by now.
33, 34, something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Reef, you know, this is one of my favorite projects within the club because it's a win-win for the club and for Roses for Autism. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so we operate locally. We come and Roses for Autism gets the roses for us. They pick them. We come over, we pack them, and then we distribute them throughout the town. Have been doing that for,
Forever.
I mean, I'm the new kid on the block, and I've been doing it for 34 years, so
Yeah.
I think at least 50 years. You think that's fair to say?
Yeah, I think this might
I
have
know
been.
you're supposed to ask the questions.
Yeah, no, but I think this might be one of the very first projects that the club was actually involved in because Bill Pinchbeck was the owner of the farm at that point and a Rotarian.
And as I understand it, they started with plants, rose plants, not just the dozen flowers.
Okay. Now, the Rose Sale this year, it varies. It's always in the fall, but it varies sometimes from October, November, October. This year it's all the way in October, I think, right? 2 weekends?
It's the last 2 weekends in October, Tony. First one is Friday, October 21, 9 to 5:30, and then Saturday, October 22, 9 to 12. And then the following week, the same drill, Friday the 28th, 9 to 5:30, Saturday, 29th, 9 to noon.
Okay. But people can actually buy roses anytime. The time you mentioned is that they can go to Bishop's and buy roses during that time frame on those days?
That's right. And we also sell tickets. Anybody who knows a Rotarian can contact them and buy a ticket in advance. That's the safest way to do it because, you know, we don't, supply and demand is tricky. We don't know how many people will come the first week or the first day and so on. So if you want to make sure you get your tickets at a certain day, buy them from your fellow Rotarian. We have a website, and is our contact information on the website as Rotarians?
Donald, what's on the website about the Rose Sale? Oops, excuse me.
Well, there's a Channel 8 interview with Roses for Autism, and then there's either now or...
All right, what is the website, first of all?
Oh, the website is guilfordctrotary.com.
Okay, guilfordctrotary.com.
And so that will list, I'm sure, the names of the Rotarians, and most people will know some of them. Otherwise, on the posters, which we'll have prominently posted all over the town, my name, Reef Tejan, and phone number are there. Feel free to give me a call, and we can set you up with roses.
All right.
Also,
No, you're not part of this, Donald. You know, he's the camera guy. Tell him what his role is. He's supposed to run the camera, make sure he gets a good shot. Oh, God, he's coming over here. All right, Donald. Now what do you want to tell me?
If you want to order your roses on the website, you can send email to the website, and that will reserve a thing for you. But you still have to pay somehow and get your ticket.
Okay,
But-
and then what is the email address?
Oh, you just do a contact. You click on something on the website.
Okay, and the website again is guilfordctrotary.com. All right, now let's go back a little bit because we jumped over a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of detailed information. If I were not a Rotarian, if I wanted to just purchase roses, I'm in the community now and I'm waiting with bated breath here to make sure I get my roses. Can I choose colors? Because I see there's a variety of colors here. Am I going to have the ability to actually reserve a particular color?
maybe.
Good answer.
And this is why I say maybe. We will have different colors. However, we don't know exactly how many will be chosen by whom, and so and we pick what has been, we pack what has been picked. And so we do the best we can. What we do is we say we will try to get, most people don't ask for specific colors because they know it's a fundraiser for numerous charitable situations and like that. But some do have different preferences. We say we'll do the best we can, but we don't promise because sometimes it's usually not within our control.
Okay. But if somebody has a specific color in mind, probably the best way is to make sure they buy their roses through a Rotarian. Then you pass the responsibility onto that Rotarian to try to fill that order to the best that we can.
No, that's
as opposed to going to Bishop's and getting it there. Because on that day, they're going to get what we have there available the last 2 Fridays and the last 2 Saturdays in October, correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah.
All right. And you're going to have Rotarians will be, outside Bishop's on the sidewalk there, outside the farm market?
We will be there on the sidewalk right by the front door. We will have a table with, an assortment of roses. We'll have some signs up. Will be pretty obvious.
Okay. Now, what about, do Rotarians, I know some do, actually deliver to the customers that they sell to? I know we have large orders sometimes from some of our Rotarians sell multiple dozens of roses.
We definitely do with larger orders. And, it depends upon the Rotarian. If they, like, I have a few people in Indian Cove here in Guilford that every year they get a few. So I'll bring those to them. Same thing with some of the outside groups that buy them in New Haven. There are offices that I bring them to, and they'll get a dozen or two. I mean 12 dozen or 24 dozen, and upwards of that sometimes. So I bring those into New Haven for them.
All right. On that subject, what's the goal for the club this year? What would you like to see the club actually sell? How many dozen?
I would like to see us sell 650 dozen.
Wow, 650. Is that what we have normally done in recent years?
In recent years, it has been 600, give or take. Last year, we did 626. We are not looking to get bigger, really. I just chose 650 because it's a nice round number. But if we did 600, that'd be fine, too.
Yeah. All right, I mentioned in the opening that this is one of many projects that the Rotary Club does with Lobster Fest, which we just finished. On January 1st, we have the road race and so forth and so on. We do a bunch of stuff during the course of the year. But to me, this is a really, really important one. And I have a connection to autism through somebody in my family. So I know the work that these folks do is phenomenal. And they're on the cutting edge in many ways. So we're going to ask the director of this group to stand in between the two of us. And you're new this year as the director, for me at least. Your name?
I am. My name is Susan Squire, and I am the Day and Work Program Manager here at Roses for Autism.
Okay. Do you have a shot of all of us, Donald, in the camera there? Okay, good. All right, Susan, whatever your title is, what are your responsibilities? What do you actually do here?
A little bit of everything. I do the day-to-day operations for the Rose Farm itself, everything from e-commerce to greenhouse work. In addition, I oversee the program with our interns through career training services.
Okay, and you coordinate with Reef, I assume, to have the roses available for us to pack?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. Yep.
Okay, how does that work, Reef? What's your experience? Don't raise the bar too high. We're just Rotarians.
Basically, they put up with us, Tony.
No,
These guys are professionals. We're amateurs. We have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, if you work in an office as I do, working with roses in a rose farm, it's like working in a wood shop. It just feels good, Yeah. They smell good. They're natural. We have a lot of fun getting together the Thursday nights before and packing them. We throw an occasional curveball to Sue and her crew, which they handle with grace, and it's really seamless. And it's more than anything, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, you heard my question about the different colors of roses. What do you anticipate we will have available?
Well, we anticipate having a lot of red available and probably a lot of rainbow bouquets.
Red's the big seller, right?
It is a big seller,
Yeah.
and it's also a big producer. And a lot of times it's up to the plant itself. They have a mind of their own as to how many they want to produce on any given week. And we anticipate usually having more red.
All right, I want to talk to Reef in a minute about what we do with the profit that we raise and
Right.
where that money goes. But what do you, talk about your organization. Why is it important that you sell a lot of roses, grow a lot of roses and sell them? Because this is your business. Why?
Well, our biggest mission is providing career training services for individuals with autism, particularly in the transition phase, where they are getting out of high school and need to enter the work world. So we're that bridge between the high school classroom and meaningful employment. So we actually use the Rose Farm business as an experience for them to teach them customer service, e-commerce. They help out in every aspect of the business, even the greenhouse, online ordering, and then they're able to put things on their resume like customer service, money handling, and these kinds of things that really help them in getting jobs. And we actually have a 40% employment rate for getting these people with autism individuals.
What does that mean,
Employment.
40%?
What that means is when people come here, we work on, we hone in on their employment skills, and we job coach them and help them to pursue meaningful employment. There's so 1 in 68 people with disabilities are unemployed or have meaningful work, so there's a lot of people who are unemployed with disabilities, and we coach them into that process.
Yeah. Now, over the course of, let's say, a year, how many different individuals? What are the numbers that you actually work with
Well, since
from
we
the
started
autism community?
in 2009, we've gotten more than 100 individuals jobs into
So
meaningful
in other words,
employment.
they come here, you train them, and then it also becomes a foundation for them going into the real workplace
Yes.
and into that community and getting a job.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Which, not easy.
No, not
for
easy.
a person with autism, not easy.
And they need that first job work experience, and that's what we can provide here.
I mean, by definition, they don't socialize well and they don't communicate well.
Correct.
So
So we teach them
it's
that.
important that you do that.
Mm-hmm,
Okay,
absolutely.
good job. I did an interview a few years ago with Tom Fannin from Ability Beyond.
Yes, wonderful man.
Talk about that organization. That's your umbrella organization that actually supports you.
That is correct. Ability Beyond has been in business for over 20 years, and they are in the business of providing various services to individuals on varying disabilities. In 2009, they saw an opportunity when the Pinchback Farm needed to close down because of the high cost of growing roses here in New England. They decided to lease the property and expand their transition service here in this Guilford area. Hence, now we have Roses for Autism, which is actually founded by Ability Beyond.
Yeah, and it's worked out for you.
It is working out wonderfully.
Yeah, and you get a big bump from the state as well, don't you?
Well, that is the reason, actually, no. And
Oh,
that
you
is-
don't?
No, why these Rotary and fundraising events are really important to us. As you know, the governor has just done a lot of cuts over this last budget year,
Aha.
and a big chunk of those were to various services such as ours. So every dollar that we get from every item bought here in Roses for Autism goes to help support scholarship programs.
Okay, you have a sign out in front on Route 1 that says Connecticut Magazine named you the best place to buy roses.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
just say something? Except for the last 2 weekends in October, when you're going to buy roses from this guy for the Rotary Club, but the rest of the time, every other day during the course of the year, you come here and buy roses?
That's right, and they will be the
Is that
best
good?
roses.
Is that permitted, what I just did?
I like the way you think.
All right. Yeah. Yes, Connecticut Magazine just released their September issue and named us the best place in Connecticut to buy roses. And while it may have something to do with our mission, it also has to do with we are the last rose farm greenhouse in New England, possibly even in the United States.
Yeah.
Very few people grow roses anymore in the United States because of the high cost of heating them throughout the winter. And that makes us the best roses because they are freshly cut here, which means they last longer and they're more fragrant.
So when the Rotarians come here on Thursday night, Reef, I guess we're working with freshly cut roses.
They are freshly cut roses, and I've been doing this for a long time. I think we had more compliments last year than we ever have.
It's wonderful.
God, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, my memory isn't as good as it used to be, but you know what I mean.
All right, wait. Well, let me take a moment to apologize for anybody that got their roses, paid the money for it, opened it up, and there was only 11 roses. I packed that dozen probably.
Well,
And what do they do about that?
we can't help that. The Rotary Club, we don't screen for intelligence. There's no testing, but everybody's got a good heart, and they're trying to do as well as they can, right?
Yeah, and if somebody, I know you said this many, many times, if somebody is not happy with the dozen roses they get, what do you do about it?
Customer's always right. If you don't like your roses, please let me know personally, or if you bought it from a Rotarian, let that person know personally, or if you got it over at Bishop's on one of the appointed days, just tell them. You know, especially if you got it on a Friday, and you know we're open half day Saturday too. But we honor those types of things without question.
As will we.
Yeah, and you know, the years I've been involved, at least, I don't get the feedback from customers. You do. Have you had anybody that's been dissatisfied, or very many? Let's put it that way.
You always have a couple people who, for one reason or another, did not like their roses. But we're talking, we used to do 2,500 dozen, 3,000 dozen. So last year, I don't recall any from last year, but there have been years, but I mean, it's really a rare occasion when that happens.
Yeah. You know, I'm just here asking the tough questions, you know?
Yeah, I know.
You know, we're trying to cover all the bases. All right.
You didn't tell me you were going to put me on the spot
Well,
like
these
that.
are my,
How'd I do?
these are my Dan Rather question, whatever, whoever he was. All right, so bottom line, we have a rose sale the last 2 weekends in October.
Yep.
Sponsored by the Guilford Rotary Club.
Yes.
And the Friday and Saturday of those last 2 weekends, they can go to Bishop's or they can order through a Rotarian.
Yes.
And you will guarantee them that they're going to get a fantastic dozen roses.
Yes.
You're guaranteeing that.
I am.
You are.
I am.
So I don't have to.
And,
That's good.
and really,
I'll
what
give
are we talking about? We're talking about a benefit to your organization, which you just
Absolutely.
described. And Reeve, talk a little bit about what we do with the profit from the rose sale.
Okay, and first I ought to say the price is $20. For many years we've resisted going to $20. We've slowly crept up, but I don't know, for over 50 years, I mean, or more. This year we're there. We have had some costs go up, which caused us to go up too. We still think that they're a great deal. In fact, I've had people that were, for a number of years, suggesting that we go there. But so this year we are there, so just to let everybody know. We operate locally, but we are part of an international organization, Rotary is, and you know, some of the local things we do, and I always
Going to get your cheat sheet?
need to get my
He called you out
my
again, Reeve.
cheat, like, but Women and Family Life and Seniors Luncheon, Meals on Wheels, Tony Friendly Visiting, Charlie's Closet, the Brantford Food
Dining room?
the Brantford Dining Room. Just to name a few, there are many others. For example, the Board of Directors of the club meets once a month, and they'll have 8 or 10 funding requests every month that are carefully discussed and considered. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. Internationally, polio, we were a large part of the eradication of polio, and I think has been eradicated with maybe just a couple places in Afghanistan or
Nigeria, I think.
some country or countries, but almost accomplished that, bringing food to villages in Africa where people are walking, 10 miles to get water to bring for drinking water. We've contributed manpower and funding to Jeremy Haiti. We have
The Haitian Health Foundation.
the Haitian Health Foundation, also the Integrated Refugee and Immigration Services, where we help families, refugees, get set up with their homes. We provide them with the furniture, and we move them into their home, and so on and so forth. It's really too much. It's a topic we could talk about for a couple of hours, but we don't take a fee. In fact, we pay for a lot of this ourselves with our fees each week, and things we call happy dollars, which we have fun with at our weekly lunch meetings. And so, but that just kind of gives you a flavor. But we are a service organization. In fact, our motto is service above self.
Very nice. Yes.
Susan, Reef mentioned the price for these roses. That's more than it would cost me to buy a dozen roses at the local gas station on the corner.
That is correct.
Why would I buy a dozen roses from the Guilford Rotary Club for $20 instead of paying 15 down the street?
Because the roses that you'll get down the street, they've been through many wholesalers, and they probably come from South America. They were probably cut 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the lasting length of them is dying quickly.
So it's like, yeah, so they're at the end of their
life.
really lifespan.
That's correct.
Okay. And yet, when you provide all these roses for us to pack on Thursday before the Friday and Saturday, how long before that were those roses cut?
Not too long at all. Not too long at all.
Good answer. But not 3 weeks.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that's the key, I think. And, you know, the pinchbeck roses, there's been a reputation for this facility for, I don't know how long.
Since
Bill Pinch-
1929.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, these are the best.
These are the best
These are the
roses
best.
in the very last rose farm.
Yeah, you got that. All right, Reef, what else do you want to say about our role in this whole process and why we do this? And maybe talk to the Rotarians now and say why it's really important for them to get off their butts and get going and selling roses.
Yeah, I'm not in begging mode yet because we've still got 5 weeks, but before long I'll be begging Rotarians to please sell. We always have about 6 or 7 of them that do an incredible job, and then everybody else pitches in. It's truly a full club project, whether people are coming here to pack the roses, to going to Bishops to distribute them on those 2 weekends, and just getting on the phone or going door to door to sell them. So those of you who are in offices, please feel free to call me or a Rotarian you may know, and we will, I have offices that I bring between 25 and 30 to every year. I will do that, you know, for you too if you should like. Doesn't have to be 25, it could be 10. Doesn't, but those are always great things, and they're always well received. It's people say, geez, you must get tired of selling this stuff, and I don't have to sell it because most people say, oh, it's that time of year again. Great, when are you doing it? And I'll call you back with how many we want to do. And I don't even do tickets with the large groups because it's just, they give me one check and I just schlep the roses over there, spill it all over my suit and my nice suit because I've had an appointment at 10 in the morning, but it's all good. And the other thing I would say, you know, when you said, well, what about, you know, if this is more expensive than where you might be able to get it somewhere else, it's a fundraiser. And, you know, everybody wins. It's not so much the Rotary Club, but if it's Roses for Autism, and the money that we get, we just put right back into the community or overseas. But the roses are gorgeous, and you will find that that if you haven't done this before, that you will enjoy them very much.
Yeah.
Excuse me? They were packed by Rotarians.
With love.
How many, in other words, how many Rotarians does it take to pack a box of roses? Well, normally 12, 12, one per rose. No, they were packed. Well, we're provided with containers by Roses for Autism. We're provided with containers. So we'll come on the Thursday night before, and we have all these roses that are in water for us.
Look at these roses.
We take them out, and we put 12 in. As Tony says, once in a while it's 11, but he forgot
Could be
to.
13.
That's what I was just going to say. It could be 13.
You don't mind that, right?
Dozen here, no? Whatever works.
We put in a little packet of food. We throw some ice in. The veteran packers throw the ice in by the stems and not up by the flowers. Every once in a while, a rookie will mess up, but only the first year. And then we seal them up, and we'll have a rubber band. And then we put them right back in the cooler until the next day, and then we take them over to Bishops as they're being used.
Reef, you mentioned offices that you deliver multiple dozens, 10, 15, 20, whatever. I'm just thinking that if, in my office, I have clients, if I wanted to purchase 10 dozen roses to distribute to my clients, is that a legitimate business expense for me to promote something like this? You're the lawyer.
Bill Fatula is a CPA in the club, and I would refer that question to Billy.
Okay, but that's food for thought for a business that's out.
Is a legitimate deduction from your payroll or from your gross receipts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good answer. Good answer. That's why he's a lawyer.
Smart
I'm just a real estate guy. You know?
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, what else do you want to add that we haven't discussed?
Just reiterate that we do have the best roses in Connecticut.
Yeah. And again, the website is guilfordctrotary.com. guilfordctrotary.com. Reef, you mentioned if somebody has a question for an order, they can call you. How do they call you? What's your phone number?
My phone number is 203-453-0430. That's my office. And that number is on all the posters that are going to be placed around town, and it's also on all of the tickets. Wait a second. Is it?
I don't know.
Yes. It's on the tickets, too.
You're the guy. You're the chairman. I don't know.
Yeah.
So why don't you repeat that one more time?
Okay. I'm 453-0430.
It's your phone number. You're gonna.
I know.
I know.
I
All
will
right.
add one more thing, if
Sure.
you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Just like, the Rotary doesn't take a profit, either do we. 100% of any profit that we might make go back into the program and offer scholarships to individuals that don't have any state funding and these kind of things, so.
Okay, and again, by definition, you're creating a foundation for people in the autism community to actually go out into the workforce and to be gainfully employed.
Right.
And I think that's critical. Again, the issues they deal with in terms of communication and socialization, if you can bite into that a little bit, it just means an awful lot.
That first job work experience really gives them that boost into meaningful employment.
It must look great on their resume.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Reef, anything else?
No, I think we covered it.
Okay.
Think
So
we're
we're
good.
talking the last 2 weekends in October at Bishop's Farm Market.
Yes.
Friday and Saturday, the last 2 weekends. They can purchase there. They can purchase from a Rotarian if they want to. They can go to the website and get more information about this, and they can call you again at what number?
203-453-0430. And for those of you who are out of town in offices and would like to make bigger orders, we're here packing the 2 Thursday evenings before those weekends. And it's not unusual, if you let me know, for someone to come pick up a box, which we could have set aside for you, and you can have ready for your office, or first thing Friday morning.
Right. Okay. Donald, anything else you want to add? Our cameraman, he's always butting in, you know? Any other information that we didn't cover?
I do have one thing. My sidekick for a number of years now is not in front of the camera, but her name is Jean Gay, and she's right over there, and she does a tremendous job.
Yes, she does.
And
Yes, she does.
she's been so helpful to me, especially when I throw her these curveballs. Jean, would you please do this? She said, sure.
All right,
Please.
sneak right in here, Gene.
Come
Come on, right in here.
Jean Gay is my logistics coordinator and wonderful floral designer. She does an amazing job.
All right, what did we not cover that you think is important for folks to know?
I think when his guys come in to pack up the roses, they do a great job.
You're looking at his guys.
I set up the tables. We get the roses out. We get the boxes out, food packets, ice, and clippers and trash barrels. They have to clean up afterwards, and they do a great job.
Yeah, and we do have some rookies in the club. Are you going to give them an orientation on what to do and how to do this?
Sure, we'll train them. We train them as they
We
come
are
in.
coachable.
Yep.
Well,
No, sometimes.
maybe. All right, guys. Gene, very nice meeting you. All the best with your organization.
Thank
I
you
hope
very much.
everything. I
Thank
hope
you
you
for
guys are
coming.
so successful. You're just right off the chart.
Yeah, me
All
too.
right. And Reef, same thing for the Guilford Rotary Club's annual 50 years or whatever, and you for 30 or 35 years you've been doing it. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's
And
amazing.
thank you, Guilford Rotary Club, for
He was only
supporting
9 when he started back then.
each and every year. We thank you very much for your support.
Okay, well, we love doing this, and we have a great time doing it as well. All right, with that, I want to thank Donald Beckler, our cameraman. And can you see me over the roses, Donald? I'm the shortest guy in the group here. You can see me, right? All right, good. With that, I want to thank everybody at home that's watching who wants to participate in this. Make sure you think about this the last 2 weekends in October. The program you're watching now will be on over and over and over on GCTV. And as a reminder to folks to make sure that they do the right thing and step up and support this great, great cause that we're involved in. With that, thank you, Gene. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Reeve.
Thank you.